Multidisciplinary Conference of 2026. Your presence shows how the university has gone in their cooperation with the international academic community, and we are honored to have you. Duca sanadkan wuxuu noqon doonaa Transforming Somalia's Education in the Era of Artificial Intelligence, Challenges and Solutions. Maalmaha soo socda maanta iyo berri waxaan qaada dhigi doonaa soo bandhigi doonaa researchkii laga sameeyey hadli doonaa dad takhasus u leh mawduuca uu ku xusay shirku. Anigoon in kusii dheeraynin waxaan u yeeri doonaa hadeertaan inaan qur-aanka kariimka ku bilaabano. waxaana noo akhrin doonaa mudane Cabaas Xuseen Xasan. fadlan ila soo dhawee.
أمن هو قانت آناء الليل ساجدا وقائما يحذر الآخرة ويرجو رحمة ربه قل هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون إنما يتذكر أولو الألباب قل يا عبادي الذين آمنوا اتقوا ربكم للذين أحسنوا في هذه الدنيا حسنة وأرض الله واسعة إنما يوفى الصابرون أجرهم بغير حساب صدق الله العظيم.
aad iyo aad umahadsan tahay mudane Cabaas, jazaaka allahu khayr, ilaahay ka abaalmariyo. Institution kaste markuu horumar sameynayo waxaa lagama maarmaana doorka hogaamiyaha, the vice chancellor, oo matali doona isagoo ku hadlaya magaca board of trusteeska ayaan hadda ku xijin doonaa inuu shirka inoo furo soona jeediyo welcoming remarkska shirka. And he's the reason that the university, one of the reasons that the university has traveled outside the country, and you can find Hormuud University in offices and being discussed in meetings far, far away. Fadlan si diiran ila soo dhaweeya gudoomiyaha jaamacadda Hormuud, Professor Cabdi Cumar Shuuriye.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على النبي الأمين وعلى آله وصحبه ومن دعا بدعوته إلى يوم الدين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. رب اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. Brother MC, who is our own MC, there is a culture in our country that MC comes from outside the association or the organization, and we adopted a culture that MC must come from us. Why do we go outside of our organization? And Brother MC is the Dean of the Faculty of Economics and Management, Ustad Abdul Fattah, and he's a PhD candidate. The organizing committee of this conference, which have been working for the past 8 months and so until 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock last night, the gudoomiyasha iyo akhyaarta sharafta leh within the Hormuud portfolio and outside Hormuud portfolio oo ay hogaaminayaan Ustad Abdul Qadir Somnet iyo Ustad Perfale Beko. Without mentioning all of the dignitaries, professors, keynote speakers, students, the akhyaarta kale oo hay-adaha kale ka yimid sidaan idin salaamayba salaanta islaamka assalaamu calaykum waraxmatullaahi tacaala wabarakaatu. Africa is a continent without father and mother when it comes to education. Unfortunately, the research shows that in the year 2050, more than 50% of African students will be outbound. That is, they will leave their countries to study abroad. And that is a very sad fact. And that role is two tiers, the government role and the educational sector role, from primary, of course, kindergarten, and to university level. So we have a choice. We have a choice whether we let our children go outside, be educated by others, come with a culture, with an attitude of others back to our country, and not knowing and not even educated even from primary or from kindergarten in our country. Or we build our education system from kindergarten. Now, that choice is very clear. We must build our own education system. Now, to build our own education system, today we are talking about the university level. Now, the duty and the aim and the objective of a university is to produce knowledge, is to be innovative, is to come up with new approaches. You know that very well, many of you in the education system, that in the 1930s, people were talking about how to educate people, how to educate students. And they come up not only a university, but they come up with approaches. And the first approach that has been talked about from 30s to 50s was something called objective-based education. Objective-based education. That is in the 30s. Now, from the 50s to 60s, we started talking about outcome-based education. That is from 50s to 80s to 90s. That is what have been talked about. Now, if you speak, you will disturb the others not to hear. Now, we have that culture in Hormuud University. Sorry about that. Now, the idea of or the approach of outcome-based education has been up to 90s. Now in Africa, we have that still, and we're talking about that. But after that, there were several approaches, including competency-based learning, competency-based approach. And the last one, which people talk about now or implement now, is called inquiry-based education. What does that mean? Inquiry-based education means students are given the 90% of the class. The lecturer guide, lead, no memorization, but crack the mind or the brain of the students. Many of those big universities, my dear brothers and sisters, which I have visited, I did not have to have the opportunity of having a full-fledged. But you're talking about in 1990, I went to those big universities in the US that you call Harvard and you call Yale University. And when you go to their classes, the professor has only questions, asking questions. And that is an inquiry-based education. That is to make sure this graduates. That's why when they graduate, they have all the inquisity, all the queries, very philosophical, very confident in terms of language and in terms of knowledge. So there is no memorization and there is no exam-based education in a good education. In Hormuud University, the first thing we did 7 months ago, we minimized the exam orientation attitude that is like a primary or a secondary. The aim of examination in a university level is actually to educate, not to punish or test. Is to make sure the person is learning. That's the objective of the examination. Now that is the only thing that can save Africa. We must revolutionize our education system in the university level. It's not an improvement. It needs a revolution. It needs a limada. It needs why we have to do this. Now, we have universities have to train students for jobs that have not existed yet. That is what the rest of the world is doing. We train our students for jobs that did not even exist yet, because we do not know what is going to happen in the next month. That's the speed of the industry. That's the speed of the machines. And this brings me to the concept of AI. Now, similar to the approaches of education that I have highlighted, the AI was something of 1950s. The first time was adopted this and mentioned. Professor Alan Truney has created a proposal to test the intelligence of the machine. That's in 1950, my dear brothers and sisters. Many of us were maybe not born. And we are thinking AI is something of today. In 1956, John Professor John uh, Mackenzie has coined the term artificial intelligence for the first time. That's in 1956. And after that, it was written hundreds of works and books on it. But unfortunately, it has not reached us. That's how we are far from the latest developments. It only reached us later. Some of us, we know artificial intelligence only recently we heard of it. You imagine, Marka, the difference. You imagine the space, you imagine the distance between us as Africans and waddankeena maba kusii jira sheekadaas iyada. Ma garanaysa? Marka, it's too far. And we're thinking is something that has just started. Now, while artificial intelligence is so important in research, in teaching, in learning, in knowledge creation, in knowledge development, it must help the Bani Adam, the human being who is the master on this earth. And the point is, if you use AI as your master, you become a slave to AI. And you disbelieve the creator of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah created you, إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً قالوا أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء ونحن نسبح بحمدك. Even the malaika يفعلون ما يؤمرون. It is Bani Adam who is in charge of this earth. It's not AI. And you need to have that perception. If you trust AI, you are a slave to the computer. And you are not the one that been promised by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. You are the master of knowledge, not AI. وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. You have the highest dignity. قُلْ هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. You are the one who knows, not AI. إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء. العلماء ورثة الأنبياء. The knowledgeable person is so close. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decides to bring another prophet, which will never happen, as you all know, he will get it from the ulama, from the knowledgeable people, not from the richest, not from the presidents, not from the ministers, and not from the famous people or the TikTokers. No, it will get it from the ulama. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promise, إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء. صنع الله الذي, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, صنع الله الذي أتقن كل شيء. Now that itqan, that ihsan, and that responsibility, the offer letter that we have, إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً, that is for you, not for AI. Marka, if you look at AI that way, you are the master of AI and you can use AI. But if you look at AI will solve your problem, you have actually enslaved yourself and you will not solve a problem. Now, for African universities, including ours, those, our education system, I would like to suggest the following. We must avoid stagnation, rukud. That is, you sit in Banadir, you sit in Bosaso, you sit in Kismayo, you sit in Hamar, you sit in Baidabo, and you think you will be okay. You are not okay. You must go and learn. A university is a learning institution. The university must learn to teach. So you must go to others who are better facilities, who have a more experience, who have a better professors. How many full professors who are dedicated to education we have in our country? How many of them? Very few compared to our population. Very few compared to where we are in education. Very sad when you see in our education, the level of our education system and how many academics do we have. We have some, like Ustad Abdul Qadir and others, educators, but they left us and they are head of agencies and the head of companies and doing a better. But we would like and we want all those who know anything about education to come back, because education is the backbone of any society. People think that when you have money, you can educate. It's connected until we make our universities as sharikat or companies, and we think the university will make money and the focus is to make money. That is destroying education. Education must be invested. Africa is the lowest continent that invests education, not make money from education. Because you are building the future, you are building the nation, you are building the country. So you invest, not make money out of it. There's a totally different shift in the approach. So stagnation is not our approach anymore. We must go and learn. Complacency or tahawun, you take it easy. You think everything is okay. You know that master's degree holder is supervising another master's degree holder. Master's undergraduate is teaching undergraduate class, and you are okay. You think you're okay. You're not okay. You're not developing. That's not okay. You don't have 20,000 graduates who can do a practical work, and you think you're okay. You have a faculty of ICT and you don't have a lab of computer lab, and you think it's okay. You have faculty of engineering, mechanical engineering, and there is no lab for that, and we think it's okay. It's not okay. You must cry every night and every day because those are our children. You are giving them a degree of engineering and they have never seen a lab. And you think it's okay. I'm talking to the whole nation. I'm talking to the whole country. I'm not talking to you alone. That's not okay. We must change that. That's complacency, thinking that you're okay when you're not. Very sluggish. We must avoid sluggishness, and that is jumud. We must avoid, that's humul. We must avoid rigidity. Cannot be done. Somalia is like this. We cannot do this. This is how we do things in Somalia. Don't accept that. Somalia is us. When you say something good cannot be done, you are saying, I cannot do something good. I cannot be good. That's what you're saying. So don't do that. Don't say that. Hormuud University will not accept that as long as we are breathing. It will not happen. So don't listen to anyone who's telling you Somalia is like this, nothing can be done. We are going that way. For this conference, my dear brothers and sisters, forgive me, I have been asked to cover 3 people, myself and other 2 who have asked me to represent them, and that's why I'm taking that time. 3 slots I am taking, but I'm done. I'm finishing. Now let me tell you about this conference, my dear brothers and sisters. We have been preparing for the past 8 months. Conferences should be prepared for 1 to 2 years. Next one we will start now, and we will have it another 1 year or 2 years from now, because we took about 8 months or 7 months ago, and we said we must have an international conference. Now, this international conference that you're having today is different from what happens in our country. We say people come together and they have a conference, which is a discussion which does not have international papers presentation, international keynote speakers, whereby the papers were not charged, the speakers were not charged. When we say we will have international conference where speakers must pay, people say in Somalia it's not like that. You must pay the speakers. The world is different. The speakers are academic. I went to Europe from Asia one time to present a paper in Germany, and the university spent 9,000 euro just to present a paper in Germany, because that paper is a value for that university. The scholar from that university, the name I'm wearing is from that university. That's what they're paying for. The money is nothing when it comes to education, my dear brothers and sisters. You can spend 1 million to educate your son or your daughter, and that's nothing. It's a peanut, because you're building a human being who will change, who will create billions and billions, who will save life, who will build a hospital, who will build a university. So what is 1 million or 1 billion? So we have to have that thinking. So the scholars that who are presenting papers today, they paid money to Hormuud University. They paid for their papers, and they came for that. So this is the first international conference, which is the approach is also international, not UN paid or big sheikh paid for it, or no, the scholars who coming paid for it. That is one. We have 100 almost papers. Some of them, of course, rejected. Many of them rejected. And we have 36 presenters today. Some of them could not come. The others, out of the 100, we rejected many. But the presenters today, 36 papers will be presented today and tomorrow. And there are 10 poster presentation, and there are also our students will be having posters. Now there are 5 keynote speakers which you will have after this, mainly from China, Malaysia, and UK. So those are the details of this conference. My dear brothers and sisters, I want you to enjoy the rest of the day, and I also want you to enjoy. Do come tomorrow also. Conferences and speakers gives you ideas. When you take the idea, you adopt that idea. You take it home and you practice it. I wish you all the best, representing the board of the university, representing the university as well. and thank you so much. جزاكم الله خير. شكرا.
aad iyo aad ayuu mahadsan yahay professor dr cabdi cumar shuuriye. kolley waxaana la siiyey 10 taariikh, mid waano, mid talo. John Mackenzie sanadku markuu ahaa 1956 ayaa la sameeyey ereyga artificial intelligence. Soomaaliya 10kan ka qoran ka mid ahaa. muddo 8 bilood ayaa loo diyaar garoobay conference-ka. ilaa 10 organizing committee ayuu lahaa siduu profku sheegay. in ka badan 100 paper ayaa la review gareeyay. 36 presentation ayaan soo wadnaa maanta iyo biriba. International keynote speakers ayaa jooga. marka intaasoo dhan oo inoo dhiman tahay insha Allah. bilow fiican ayaan hadda qaadanay. haddii aad wax caawina u baahan tihiin waxaa noo diyaara asharis dhinacyada taagan, gadaal taagan, gacanta un taag. arrin caafimaad hadduu ku haysto mar kaste, biyo haddii aad u baahan tahay ha ismartiyeynina insha Allah. marka intaas muuqaal soo koobaya ayaan rabnaa hadda inaan daawano conference-kan sidii loogu diyaar garoobay, wixii laga soo maray, wuxuu ku saabsan yahay. muuqaal noo soo koobaya insha Allah ayaan daawanaynaa hadda shaashada indhaha ku haya. waad mahadsantihiin.
Welcome to the Hormuud University International Hybrid Multidisciplinary Conference, HUMC 2026. HUMC 2026 is the culmination of months of planning and commitment by the organizing committee, scientific committee, reviewers, editors, and volunteers to deliver a high-quality international academic conference. The conference received scholarly contributions from researchers, academics, practitioners, and students representing universities, research institutions, and professional organizations from Somalia and around the world. Over 100 research papers were submitted and underwent a rigorous peer review process. Papers that met the conference standards and aligned with the theme and tracks were accepted for presentation, while those that did not were not accepted. Alongside the paper presentations, the conference features student research poster presentations, providing a platform for emerging researchers to showcase their work. HUMC 2026 also brings together distinguished keynote speakers from leading universities and institutions across the world, providing a platform for presenting research, sharing ideas, and engaging in scholarly discussions. Research is the engine of innovation, the foundation of progress, and the pathway to sustainable development. At Hormuud University, we are building a future where knowledge creates impact. Today, our commitment to research is reflected in initiatives that empower scholars, inspire innovation, and create lasting impact. Here are some of our achievements. Research capacity building. Hormuud University has continued to strengthen research capacity across the institution through regular training programs for academic and administrative staff. These initiatives focus on improving research skills, academic writing, and scholarly publication. Professional training programs. The university has introduced professional training programs designed to support skills development, knowledge transfer, and stronger engagement with the wider community. Establishment of international academic journals. Hormuud University has established 9 international academic journals across its major academic disciplines. These journals are supported by editorial boards and structured management systems to promote quality scholarly publishing, research dissemination, and public engagement. The university has expanded research dissemination and public engagement through academic events, such as the Geopolitics Meets Vulnerability Symposium, which brought together scholars and experts to discuss contemporary issues affecting Somalia. Monthly Research Coffee Series. The Research Coffee Series has been introduced as a monthly platform for interdisciplinary dialogue, scholarly exchange, and the continued development of a stronger research culture across the university. Research collaboration with major companies. Hormuud University has strengthened collaboration with major companies in Somalia by applying its academic expertise to research in consumer behavior, market studies, impact assessment, monitoring and evaluation, and strategic development. International academic partnerships. The university has expanded its global academic engagement through research connections with universities across the world. These partnerships support joint research, publications, academic exchange, conferences, and institutional capacity building. The university has also collaborated with its academic partners from Malaysia and Indonesia in co-organizing the International Science and Technology Conference, ICOSTEC 2026, under the theme, Science Beyond Borders, Connecting Technology for a Sustainable Future. Active production of quality research. Hormuud University. Researchers continue to produce high-quality research across health sciences, engineering, climate and environmental studies, agriculture, social sciences, and technology. Their work has been published in internationally recognized and highly indexed journals.
markaasi maalgashtay aqoonta aaminsanna aqoonta in la maalgashto inay tahay mustaqbalka ugu wanaagsan ee dalkan. waxaan u mahad celinaynaa sponsoriska conference-ka Hormuud Telecom iyo Beko. haddeertaan waxaan ku xijin doonaa inuu hadal noo jeediyo. waxaan ku hormaraynaa Cali Maxamed Kaariye oo ah Operations Manager of Beko. soo dhow mudan.
بسم الله الحمد لله وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. أغيارتنا ما أنت كسوق أبقى شيء بعرستان لوصو بندقي هرمود يونيفرسيتي سو بندقي سو دمانتين وقفل بمنصب كذا أيامكم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أنت كبعدي نحن هذا إلينا برنامج كان قيمة له ويصود ديارسي جامعة مارتا هرمود يونيفرسيتي. حقيقة waxyaabo aad loogu baahnayo ama aan hore uga jiri jirin dalka ayaanu aragnaa inay tahay cilmi baarisahanna waa wax loo baahnayo waa meel lagu soo saarayo baahida iyo meesha ay ka jirto ay naga haysato bugtadu. xaqiiqatan waxaan isleenahay aad ayaan u jeclaan lahayn in laga sii badiyo intaanan hore usii socoto waayo ilaa hadda meel aan ka bugno aad looma yaqaan. waxaan aaminsannahay waxbarashadeennu sida ustaadkuba uu sheegay profesorku in aysan u quduucaynin meelihii aanu aad uga baahnayn oo baahideennu ay ahayd. waxaan leenahay haddii naloo soo bandhigo meelaha aanu ka jiranahay in aad baaritaan tagtaa oo soo baartaa waa haboonaanaysaa istawaysaa laakiin haddaadanba aqoonin meel lagaa hayo waa dhibaato. sidaa la ajligeed waxbarashada maanta waxaan laga hadlayaa waa waxbarashada AI waa loo socdaa waa lagu jiraa laakiin annagu ka sokayba AI intaan gaarinanba maarata ayaanan maxaanba ku gaarnaaba AI dad waxaa gaara aad u maarata horumarsan laakiin AI ka sokayaaba wax ka jira anaan isleenahay. sidaad aragtiinba ardayda jaamacadaha ka baxa ama iskoolada ka baxa xaqiiqatan waxaan isleeyahay anugu waxbarashadeenna oo jaamacadaha ama dugsiyada uma quduucayso sidii aan rabnay oo la rabay inay wax ku soo saaraan dadkeen u soo saaraan waayo intaasoo arday ayaa dugsiyo sare ka baxda jaamacada ka baxda shaqo la'aan bayna bannaanka dhooban yihiin maxaa ka hoos garaynaya in qofkii wax barto haddana aanu waxba qaban karin oo ku leeyahay maarata curyaan yahay. waxaan is leenahay waxbarashadeennu dowladduna inay maarata ka qayb qaadato ay horta indha xoogla u yeelato waddanka waxa la maalgashado waxbarashada ugu fiican. midda kale inay dowladdu ay xoog saartana waa loo baahan yahay waayo adduunka waad aragteen waad iga wada ogaal badan tihiin meelaha xanaanada ayaa looga soo bilaabaa traininka ilmaha meelaha kindergartenka la yidhaahdo dugsigii maarata hoose kii dhexe kii sare markii ilaa intaas waxaa lala socdaa ardayga attitude-kiisa iyo maaragtaa IQ-giisa sida uu yahay waxaad arkaysaa ardaygaani marka uu dugsiga sare gaadho waaba la yaqaanaa waxa uu yahay in loo leexinayo technical schools oo laleeyahay ninkan wuxuu ku fiican yahay farsamooyinka halkaas in loo leexinayo dhinaca caafimaadka iyo halkaas jaamacadahaas in loo leexinayo teknolojiyada iyo halkaas waaba already waa la yaqaanaa waayo waxaa laga soo bilaabay markii uu xanaanada joogay ayaa lasoo bilaabay heerkiisa in lala socdo inna waxaan isleenahay ma diyaarsana ama uma diyaarsanin sidaas uma shaqeyno ardaygan macallinkuna sawirada inta tago ku taagtaagaa xiisadiisa qaata iska tagaa ardayguna buugga inta qaado xagga iska geeya hadda waxaa na sii waalay waxyaabahan oo social media ah oo cid buug fiirisa haba inay iska yartaadu malaysa arday dhan waxaad arkaysaa buuggaada keen haddaad tiraahdo hal notebook aan haysan hal notebook wax ku qora aan haynin baad arkaysa maarata wala war maxaa mobilka kala socda casharka kala socda oo waxyaabahan isleenahay aad ayay u liitaan marka waxaan dhihi lahay waxbarashadu inay kasoo bilaabato loogu manhajkeenna in wasaaradda hidaha iyo tacliinta sare inay xitaa dib ugu noqoto iyadoo ka faa'iidaysanaysa risiijadan lasoo saarayo inay waxbarashadeenna dib loo yara hagaajiyo oo loo dhigo mid u qaabaynaysa maaragta ardaydu inay wax qabsan karaan waxaad arkaysaa ardaygii markii dugsiga sare dhammaa waarid baan nahay waxaan leenahay wariyaa baro caafimaadka wariyaa baro IT-ga cunugii maskaxa uma hayaba lalama socon waxa uu ku habboon yahay maba aanan la socon lama aanan socon waxa uu ku habboon yahay laakiin waaridku waxaan iskala jecelnahay halkan gal halkan baa yara fursadu ka jirtaa laakiin adduunku sidaa uma shaqeeyo grade oo ardaygan uu ku gaarayo ama caafimaad ku aadayo ama uu IT ku aadayo ama ayaa jirta kuwa kale oo levelkooda uu hooseeyo farsamada loo leexinaya already qofkaani qof shaqaysta weeye marka waxaan isleenahay waxbarashadeenna in sidaas loo habeeyo waa aanu maaragtaa dhiirigelinaa waana ka qayb qaadanaynaa shirkad ahaan beeka ahaan in aan maaragtaa ka qayb qaadano dhiirigelinta iyo cilmi baarisyada noocaas ah oo ay jaamacaduhu samaynayaan hadda jaamacadda hormuudna aanu ugu mahad celinayno waanu ka qayb qaadan doonaa annaga nafteennu IT-ga iyo cilmi baarisaha waa u baahanna waayo waxaan ka shaqaynaa korontada dalkan ka shaqaynaa xaqiiqatan isleenahay shirkadda ugu weyn ayaan nahay xagga korontada ka shaqaysa waxaan laga shaqaynaa ama waxbarasho ha noqoto ama horumar ha noqoto ana korontada unbay salka ku haysaa daas aanu jaamacadeenna ka codsanayno iyo jaamacadaheenna waddanka oo dhan aanu ka codsanayno inaad noo samaysaan cilmi baarisyo hadda sida wax ku soo saarnaa ma si saxa baa maxaad ku soo saartiin baaritaan nama sameeyo solar baan isticmaalnaa sidaan baan isticmaalnaa may cilmi baarisyo noo sameeyo tan ku dara waan kaga baahanna adikana waan kaga fadhinaa haddii eeba yidhaahdo aad iyo aad ayaad u mahadsantihiin hadal dheer kuma aana tala gelin marka insha allahu waxaan leeyahay intaasaan kusoo gaabinaya asalaamu calaykum waraxmatullahi wabarakaatu thank you very much
aad iyo aad ayuu mahadsan yahay mudane cali maxamed kaariye haddana waxaan u gudbaynaa marka qeyb muhiima oo conference-keenna hadda inta ka bilaabata ilaa qadadaan ku socon doona insha allah waa keynote address keynote speakerska caalamiga iyo kuwa dalkaba ayaan haddana soo dhoweyn doonaa waxaan filayaa 1980 shiinuhu meeshuu ka joogay dhaqaalaha iyo AI-da less than a century meeshuu maanta ka joogo aad bay u kala fog tahay marka dhiirigelin shiinaha noogu filan ayaan isleeyahay sidaa darteed associate professor Shiyu ayaa haddeertan noo soo jeedin doonaa khudbad la xiriirta human gait analysis in videos from human identification to healthcare caafimaadka iyo AI-da ayuu la xiriiraa wuxuu ka socdaa jaamacadda Southern University of Science and Technology gobolka Shenzhen Shiinaha Department of Computer Science and Engineering marka hadda khudbadiisaan dhegeysan doonaa insha allah
I'm Shi Qiyu from Southern University of Science and Technology. It's my great honor here to give a talk on my research. The topic is gait analysis in videos. My talk will include 3 parts. three parts. The first part is human identification, the second is scoliosis screening, and the third one is Parkinson's disease assessment. They all by gauge. The first topic is human identification in videos. It also has another name, gait recognition. The target is to recognize the person in videos. Like in this video, there are some people that are walking. We try to recognize who is the person. We can use walking style, gait, body shape, and anything you can use to recognize who is the person. This video shows how human identification can be used in video surveillance. Another application is for robbers. In the second video, we can see a robotic dog is walking. Currently, the robbers cannot recognize the persons around the robbers very well. The only solution is face recognition, but most of the time, the people will not face to the robbers with a very clear face image. So the robbers are very difficult to recognize the person. So this is the robbers at my lab. So we are collecting data for identification. I have worked on this topic for more than 20 years. A lot of people often ask me, what is the accuracy of gait recognition? The answer depends on the test conditions. The accuracy can be very high. It can also be very low. It depends on how difficult the test. To answer this question, I use a computation. We have run the computation in the past 7 years, from 2020 to 2026. So let me introduce the dataset used for the computation. In the first 3 years, we use a relatively simple dataset, and later we changed to another much more challenging dataset from 2023. In the next 4 years, we always use this dataset for the computation. In the dataset, there are over 800 subjects. And we collected data from 859 persons. And for each person, there are 6 sequences, and 1 for gallery, 5 for probe. So we only provide the binary silhouette for test. Like here, we label this sequence as ID1, this is another person, ID2. Then we will ask who is the person and who is the person. You can see the clothing has been changed. The view angle also changed. We have over 800 persons in the data set, and then we ask who is the person. If it's a random guess, the accuracy will be around 1/800. It's very low, less than 1%. So what about the real accuracy in our computation? Let me show the results. Okay, it's here. In the past 7 years, all the top results are listed in this figure. We can see the first place. In the beginning, in the year 2020, the accuracy is 70, and then 93, 96. Since the accuracy is too high, we have to change to another data set. And the data set is much difficult, so the accuracy dropped to 80%, and then continuously the accuracy improved about 85%, 94, and 94.4. So from the result, we can see the accuracy improved very fast in the past years. So it's I believe the accuracy is much higher than you expected. Okay, human identification actually is a very difficult task. Why this task is very difficult? Because it's a fine-grained recognition task. Because the differences between different people are tiny, very tiny. But within the same person, the changes may be large. Like if we take videos from different view angles, different clothing, different carrying objects, occlusion, aging, it will make the data from the same person change a lot. So it makes the task very difficult. So currently, even we can reach a very good accuracy, but in real applications, it's still very difficult. So if you want to know the best results, nowadays the best method, I would like to introduce this method. The name is Bigger Gait. It's a method by my research group, and the paper has been published at the conference in Europe 2025. So in the method, we use RGB data. The left figure here is the traditional method. In the past years, we use skeleton, we use some human passing results or binary silhouettes as the input, and send in some deep models to predict the ID, who is the person. So for bigger gate, the method, we use RGB videos directly, and then we use a large vision model. Here we can use the same. We can also use CLIP or Dino V2 or Dino V3, the recent one, for facial extraction. So the biggest difference here is we use large vision models for facial extraction. So in the past, we use some simple models, but here is the model much larger. So the features extracted from large vision models are much more powerful. Then we can get very good results. So if you want more details, you can read the paper. Because of limitation time, I will not give a lot of details. So this is the one of the most popular method. Now let's move to Gate for Health, video-based scoliosis screening. What is scoliosis? Scoliosis actually happens among young children. If we try to screen, and we need to let the children the forward and bend test, and we use scoliometers to measure. And finally, if we want to confirm, we need to use the X-ray radiograph to check. So it's cost a lot of time, and also the cost is high. So we try to use video for this task, scoliosis screening. So we can just put a camera here, the children, they run on the playground, then we can estimate. So for the task, we created a data set with 1,000 participants. It is the first large-scale data set for scoliosis. And we provided binary silhouettes and pose features for experiments. If you are interested in this topic, you can use the dataset here and for your research. So our research on this task also found it's possible if we use a gate as the feature, and we can reach accuracy of 82%. So it's encouraging. Another topic for healthcare is the Parkinson's disease assessment. Parkinson's disease is a progressive nervous system disorder, mostly happen for older people. So if they have Parkinson's disease, they will have very small steps, slow walking, the arm swing will be reduced also, and they will turn, when they walking and turn, it will be very difficult for them, like this old man here. It's difficult for him to move, to turn, and also to balance. So because of this, we can use one of the challenge for Parkinson's disease assessment is the data. We have a relatively limited data set for Parkinson's disease because the clinical data set is difficult to collect. So to solve this problem, we propose a method named Gate PD. We try to use the gate model learned from identification for Parkinson's disease. So it can use the knowledge learned from identification for Parkinson's disease assessment. So we improve the generalization to assign patients and the data sets using this method. So if you want to know more details, you can read the paper. I just introduced some recent progress on this topic, but what about the future? I believe in the next few years, the vision capability of robots will be improved greatly, like introduced by the picture.
aad iyo aad ayuu mahadsan yahay associate professor Shikiyu from the University of Southern University of Science and Technology in China. waxaan filayaa dadka security-ga bartana waa anfacayaa mawduucaas. waxa aad u baahantihiin oo ku saabsan conference-ka, all the resources, buugga waxaa ku qoran QR code. You can scan it. We're available all the information that you need. And at Hormuud University, we don't talk when others are talking in front of us. Marka gadaal ka hadlaya waxaan xasuusin lahaa inay xoogaa codkooda hoos u dhigaan insha Allah. If it is absolutely necessary, haddii inaad u baahan tahay hadasho, low tone ku hadal insha Allah. waayahay waxaan kusii socon doonaa haddeertaan our keynote addresses. waxay noo soo socda mawduucyo kala duwan. conferencekan waxaan isku dayaynaa inaan ku cover gareyno all parts of education. marka mawduucyada noo soo socda waxaa ka mid ah AI and nature, waxaa ka mid ah AI cimilada si u saameyso dabcan, the revolution of AI itself. laakiin hadda waxaan u gudbaynaa if we haddii aan dhaqan gelino AI-da waxbarashada security-geeda inaan sugno weeyaan. in this age macluumaad badan ayaa online ah. marka hadda waxaan mawduuca xiga u noqon doonaa cyber security as a strategy of pillar for transforming Somalia's education. waxaanan kusoo dhaweynayaa stageka Dr. Hormuud Ahmed Jimcaale oo ka socda Center for Graduate Studies at Jamhuriya University.
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مدحدا شرفت له ككلا سعوتا هي أداها كلا دونا وجوه الرئيس هرمود بورتفوليو أو إكملتها هي جامعة هرمود شركة ده كلا دوان أغني هندا سوجرا ولا شيء قبلها سوجرا waa ku mahadsantihiin inaad mataqaanaa igu sharaftaan inaad mataqaanaa dhegeysataan. runtii kan waa next ka dhexda muxuu yahay midkii professor Shuriya iyo kii kale oo ninkii odaga ahayo cilmi baarihii professor Shiqi oo China ka socday. waa marka laga hadlayo mawduucan asaga dabcan sida la sheegay waa multidisciplinary. arrintan laga hadlayo waxbarashada sidii sare loogu qaadi lahaa ama loo bedeli lahaa dhinacyo kala duwan ayaa laga fiirinaya. waxbarashada hadda waqtiga la jooga sideedaba maanta ayaa mawduucu yahay. arrinkan wuxuu la xiriiraa shaqo kasta oo maanta bani aadamku mataqaana uu leeyahay. shaqo kasta waxay noqoto technology, ha noqoto waxbarashada, ha noqoto caafimaadka, ha noqoto military iyo defense iyo security-ga, ha noqoto wax walba waxay noqdeen technology waa socotay cabaaray socotay. AI ayaa soo xoogeysatay. marka technology iyo AI iyo waxyaabaha noocaas oo kale marka meesha yimaadaan waxaa jira arrin aan inta badan aan moognahay oo aan ignore garayno oo la xiriira waxa la yiraahdo cyber security ama information security. information security iyo cyber security marka laga sheekeeyo dadka in badan oo kamid ah waxaa ku soo dhaca hacking iyo mataqaana firewall iyo sida loo xiro iyo يعني information technology laba nooc ay laba qaab ayaa loo wajahaa inta badan. qaybuna waa technical, qaybta anaga inta badan maskaxda aan ku hayno waa mataqaana waa technical. qaybuna waa waxa la xiriira governance ama leadership taqna ay la xiriirta. midda technicalka waa laga yaabaa inaan ku fiicannahay, waa suurtagal oo shirkadaheena dad IT yaqaana oo cyber security inay ku takhasuseen inay joogaan mataqaana waa suurtagal. laakiin meesha loo dhinto waa meesha la xiriirta masalan arrinta la xiriirta governance ama la xiriirta. weydii qof kamid ah shirkadahan dadka meesha hadda fadhiya ama maqan maxaa yani systemiska aad isticmaasho